Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilmember Bracco.
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Gillespie.
Here.
Councilmember Morales.
Here.
Councilmember Priolo.
Here.
Vice Mayor Egbert.
Here.
Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Next, we come to our executive session, item number 3. Madam Clerk?
Executive session pursuant to ARS, Section 38-431-03A1, to discuss and consider the retirement of Town Attorney Daniel Hockley and the appointment, assignment, appointment, promotion, salary, and selection of a new town attorney pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A3 for legal advice pertaining to the same, and pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A4 for discussion and consultation with the town attorney in order to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding the town's position regarding contracts related to the same.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to meet in executive session.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The town council and staff will meet in the executive conference room upstairs, and we anticipate being down here at 6 o'clock, if not earlier.
it down. Mine's still kind of.
Stops at those. Mostly the farms. The wineries, I feel like after you've done one, they're all going to be kind of.
So I've been to Texas. But I've been to like a lot of parts of Mexico. Like a lot of parts. Probably I think we saw like
What we do, stand? Yes. Just like that? Show that? There we go. Okay, you'll be great.
Yes, I can.
Okay, I think everybody else, good. We are back in public session after the regular town council meeting this evening. The nope, just kidding. We were just down in regular town council meeting. Our executive session has ended. We've directed the HR director to make interview appointments for the town attorney that we discussed in executive session. Their names will be released once the interview appointments have been confirmed. We anticipate that to be in sometime tomorrow. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Town Hall. Having reached the hour of 6 p.m., I hereby call to order this meeting on the Sahuarita Town Council. I would also like to inform everyone that tonight's meeting will be broadcast. Tonight's invocation will be given by Sergeant Michael Blevins, Sahuarita Police Department, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Addison Agras, a 6th grade student at Wrightson Ridge School.
Good evening. Would you prepare yourself as you're accustomed? Father, we just come and we seek you. I just thank you for these servants that give so much to the community, and I just pray for discernment and wisdom and protection. We thank you, and we are excited to be living and working in this community. It is a true blessing just to see how it has grown, and so with that, we just give that all that credit to you, and we know that you're present in this meeting, and that gives us a sense of peace. And so we pray this in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we go into the next one, I thought I'd point out I'm obviously not the mayor. I am the vice mayor, but he is going to be on the phone with us, or a video call with us today, and he asked me to lead this meeting. So, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilmember Bracco.
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Gillespie.
Here.
Councilmember Morales.
Here.
Councilmember Priolo.
Here.
Vice Mayor Egbert.
Here.
Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you, Lisa. Tonight, there's a couple of presentations to present. Will you please come to the podium when I call your name? First, I will be presenting a proclamation to declare August 2022 as Child Support Awareness Month to Nicole Oliveira, Outreach Coordinator, Division of Child Support Services. Ms. Oliveira, will you please join me at the podium? Tom always does these. Here we go. Okay. Whereas the town of Sahuarita joins the nation in recognizing August as Child Support Awareness Month and reaffirms its commitment to strengthening Arizona's families by providing child support services to improve the economic stability and well-being of a child. And whereas the state of Arizona will always be committed advocates for our children whose safety and security remain top of mind. And whereas a child who receives emotional and financial support is more likely to feel safe and secure and is better equipped with the courage to be the very best in life. And whereas the Department of Economic Security Division of Child Support Services is robustly committed to putting Arizona's children first and humbly serving Arizonans with excellence, respect, integrity, and kindness, as well as being an overall champion for economic growth and opportunity. And whereas DCSS is a strong advocate for shared parenting responsibilities because parents and children benefit when both parents are engaged with their child at each stage, regardless of marital status. And whereas strengthening individuals and families with an emphasis on fiscal responsibility promotes the safety and well-being of children, provides stability, improves the lives of children, and provides opportunities for families to be able to enhance their children's future. And whereas Child Support Awareness Month salutes diligent parents who spend time with their children and make regular child support payments to safeguard their children's future. Now, therefore, Tom Murphy, Mayor of the town of Sahuarita, do hereby proclaim the month of August 2022 as Child Support Awareness Month. In testimony whereof he has hereunto set his hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the town of Sahuarita on the 22nd day of August 2022. Thank you so much. You did great. You doing pictures? We're good? Okay. You want a handshake or just this? Handshake. Okay.
And on the behalf of the department, I just want to say thank you to the town of Sahuarita for your continued collaboration and support. We truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, next I'll be presenting a proclamation to declare August 2022 a Drowning Impact Awareness Month to Jody Layton, Program Coordinator, Pima County Natural Resources, Parks and Recreation. Ms. Layton, will you please join me at the podium? Awesome. Here we go again. Whereas Arizona's future prosperity depends upon the long-term health, safety, and well-being of the nearly 2 million children and teens in our state, and whereas drowning is a top cause of injury and death for children and teens in Arizona, affecting not only the victims, but also families, emergency personnel, and our society as a whole, and whereas child drownings are nearly 100% preventable, and whereas research-proven strategies can save lives, include constant and capable supervision, restricting access to water, use of life jackets, swimming lessons for adults and children at the appropriate age, and rapid emergency response, including CPR, and whereas awareness of the program is just the first step, evidence-based programs to bring their strategy to families is the best way to save lives. And whereas during August, the Drowning Prevention Coalition of Arizona, in collaboration with state and local governments, community organizations, and private citizens, will be engaging communities throughout Arizona in a coordinated and comprehensive response. Now therefore be it resolved that Tom Murphy, Mayor of the Town of Sahuarita, on behalf of the Town Council, do hereby proclaim the month of August as Drowning Impact Awareness Month, and urge all residents of Sahuarita to participate in efforts to reduce drowning risks, strengthen families, and protect children and teens. In testimony whereof, the mayor has set forth his hand and caused to affix the seal of the town of Sahuarita on the 22nd day of August 2027. Thank you. All right, we'll do the official thing. Real quick, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As a board member of the Drowning Prevention Coalition of Arizona, I would like to thank Mayor Murphy and the Town Council for recognizing August as Drowning Impact Awareness Month. Some very hard facts about drowning. Drowning is the leading cause of injury-related death among children between the ages of 1 to 4. It's also the leading cause of unintentional injury-related deaths among children 19 and under. Children less than a year old are more likely to drown at home in a bathtub or a bucket. As we experience high heats in southern Arizona, we all know people gravitate towards bodies of water. Oftentimes they are not lifeguarded, there's no adult supervision, there's no barriers, there's no gates, there's no extra layers of protection. So we urge everybody to be vigilant, of course, when we are out enjoying water activities. So far in Pima County this year, through August 11th, we have had 6 water-related incidents, and unfortunately, 1 has been a fatality of a pediatric, of a child fatality. So we please must remain vigilant and continue with our efforts in drowning prevention messaging, and we truly appreciate you guys supporting us every year in these efforts. So thank you very, very much.
Absolutely, thank you. Item 6, the approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as published. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed by nay? The agenda is approved. Item 7 is called to the public. At this time, any member of the public is invited to address the town council on any issue which is on tonight's consent agenda or on any issue which the town council can lawfully act upon at a future meeting. Pursuant to Arizona open meeting laws, the council may not discuss the items, but individual members of the council may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the council, may ask staff to review the matter, or may ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any speaker cards? Man, they're making it easy for me tonight. Okay. Seeing anyone in the audience like to speak to us? We take them from the audience. Okay. Seeing no motion, I declare the call the public closed. We now have come to the council brief summary of current events. Council members, anybody would like to share some? Should we start? Just anybody? Go ahead, Councilmember Morales.
I would just like to say that I attended the Lakeside Live, Laura. I commend your crew. They did an awesome job. It was a good night. It started to sprinkle, but it didn't scare anybody away. I did request that we get some kind of a Tejano band next time. So if you guys could work on that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyone else? please, one of our newest council members.
So I got to participate in 2 ribbon cutting ceremonies, one for Mr. Car Wash and for EG's. So, thank you.
Wonderful. I know that those were both popular ribbon cuttings and are being used regularly, which is nice for both our residents and for our businesses. The mayor and I were at the fitness court ribbon cutting the Parks and Rec has there at Animax. It was pretty fun to participate and use some of the equipment. I would encourage those to check it out. We haven't met since June. So 4th of July was spectacular. I think that having it here at Town Hall and the water guns and everything that entailed, it was pretty intense. So thank you, Laura, for all of your staff and your vision of to what it can become. So thank you. And Councilmember Morales and I attended the MAD event, Mothers Against Drunk Driving hero event, just this last week. And it was an opportunity to, that the people with MAD recognized 2 of our staff members, one from the police and from the town attorney's office. So that was a lovely event to be able to celebrate some of the things they've done against drunk driving, and so we thank you for that. Anybody else? Okay, moving right along. Madam Clerk, will you please read item number 9?
Town Manager's Report highlighting employee and department accomplishments, capital improvement projects, development projects, and town events.
Mr. Dilly?
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor and members of the council, Mr. Mayor remotely. Appreciate the opportunity. It has been a little bit. We had council recess. I know that there was a town manager report late in July, but it's good to be back in face-to-face with you as council. Let's see, did this advance it? There it is. Okay. So as we normally start out, members of the council, the town manager's report spends the first section of the report highlighting our employees for their work adversaries with the town. We have 4 brackets. Our first bracket covering the years 1 to 4 for the month of August. We recognize 8 employees. It was a big month for our organization. But we've got Maricela Estrada, Kayla Warren, Christina Martin Del Campo, Thomas Weidman, Kevin Davis, Dylan Pruitt, Nicole Serene, and Oscar Fruge as being recognized for 4 years of service with the town. You know, it's often this first few years with an organization is really pivotal for our employees, and really wanted to recognize employees in this section in particular for giving us a test run and being a part of our organization. They really make a great contribution. The next bracket is 5 to 9 years. We're recognizing 6 employees tonight. 3 of them are from our police department or our legal department. We've got Rona Kramer in legal, Aaron Medina in PD, Michael Falquez in PD. We've also got Guy Anderson also in our police department. Jorge Rodriguez, you know his face. He's around often to help us with our IT issues. He's in our IT support group. And then Victor Gonzalez, our Director of Economic Development and Public Affairs. All 6 of these are recognizing anniversaries this year this month between 5 and 9 years. Thank you for all your service. Our last bracket is that we're recognizing here is the 15-plus year. Mayor and council, we've got 4 that we're recognizing tonight as model employees for the town in terms of tenure. We have 2 of those 4 that will be here in person that would like to just be recognized, maybe share a few comments. We'd certainly invite them to do so if they so wish. Our first is Dylan Perry. Dylan was born and raised in Maryland, and at the age of 18, he moved to Tucson to attend the University of Arizona. Dylan received his master's degree in urban planning in May of 2007. In August of 2007, he began working with the town of Sahuarita as the assistant planner. He was promoted to planner in 2013, and then again promoted to senior planner in 2021. This month, Dylan celebrates his 15th year with the town. Dylan met his wife Tiffany at the University of Arizona and got married in June of 2011. They have 2 boys, William and Robert, ages 8 and 5 respectively. Dylan and his family are big supporters of the U of A basketball program, and he has been taking his boys to those games since they were babies. So we wanted to recognize Dylan. Dylan's here. Dylan, if you wanted to say a few words, the mic is available to you, but we wanted to recognize you for your service to the community. Thank you. It's a long walk.
Hello. I just wanted to say a quick thank you for the recognition. And as well, I just wanted to say, when I started here, I started straight out of grad school, and I really didn't, at that time, there's no way I would have thought I'd still be working for the town 15 years later. And I think that says a lot about the work environment that is here at the town. And also that I've been lucky enough to work for a couple directors that have made it a great place to work, in Sarah Moore and Anna Cassidy. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thanks.
Next, we'd like to recognize Grace Santa Cruz. The month of August this year, she celebrates her 16th year with the town. Grace is not able to be with us here tonight, but she, just as a little tidbit, she was the court's first senior court clerk for that department. Those who know Grace best and work with her closest describe her as a team member who's always upbeat, very positive. Even during tough times for the organization or the department, she works well with the public and other court employees. She's quick to help new employees learn their jobs and their responsibilities and duties, and is noted as a great listener. She is described as an integral part of the court and valued for her support of her team. Grace's favorite quote is, "The smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention." And she wholeheartely believes that when you are kind to someone, they forget all about their own worries, and to the extent that even a bad day becomes a good one. So we want to recognize Grace and thank her for her 16 years with the community. Next, we're recognizing Carmen Tena, who is also celebrating her 16th year with the town this month. Carmen is an accountant specialist in the town's finance department, being one who is quick to go the extra mile to celebrate the accomplishments and the birthdays and other reasons to celebrate for her fellow colleagues in the organization, or to simply be engaged and to help wherever help is needed. Over the years, Carmen has positively impacted many, many lives. She has been referred to by her peers as the Munis Queen due to the sheer number of folks she has trained on the town's system, which can be kind of cumbersome. Said about her by a former employee, Giselle Suarez, "I was part of the interview panel that hired Carmen, and I'm glad we chose her. It feels like just yesterday when I met her for the first time. Carmen was so positive, helpful, and eager to work. We worked side by side for several years and quickly became best friends. Carmen and her husband Rick married at a very young age and have been blessed with a marriage of 32 years this year, and are parents to 3 wonderful kids, children Vanessa, Victor, and Valerie. We'd like to recognize Carmen for her service to the community." Carmen's not here, right? I don't see Carmen. Okay. And our next individual we'd like to recognize, who is present, I believe, okay, great. Hector Inglesias. Hector started with the police department as an officer on August 3rd, 2003. So this month he's celebrating his 19th year with the town. For the better part of the past 2 decades, Hector has been an integral member of the team and has served in several capacities, namely patrol, field training officer, detective, crime scene team member, firearms and defense tactics instructor, and member of the Pima Regional SWAT team. Over his career with the Sahuarita Police Department, Hector has trained hundreds of officers in different areas, from basic patrol duties and protocols to verbal judo and the use of force de-escalation tactics. Hector recently played a lead role in creating the active shooter training for all the police department's personnel at Walden Grove High School. That was earlier this summer. A quote from the police department about Hector: "The police department has been very fortunate to have such a dedicated law enforcement officer for such a long period of time for the organization." We'd like to recognize Hector and invite him up to the mic if he cares to share a thought or two. You're good? We would like to recognize Hector. Thank you, Hector. So we'll get into some major department highlights. You see this collage of pictures. The report itself obviously has these photos, but with narrative behind it. Lots of activity to report on, Mayor and Council, regarding your staff's efforts to reach out and to serve the community this past month. This report includes, but is not limited to, activities like new training programs being rolled out by our building official and building department, headed and spearheaded by Bill Lahr, our building official. These training programs were initially meant for staff, but as word got out, we're finding that our partners in the building industry are also interested in participating in it and playing a role in that. So it's been fun to see how that's evolved. Several updates from our police department. One notable update is the rollout of the community's first ever Citizens Police Academy. We expect that there will be a lot of interest in participating in this program each and every year. The new flagpole, you see a picture of the flagpole there at the Veterans Park. That flagpole is up today and flying proud. We're excited about that accomplishment and look to continue to build on that effort and further develop the memorial park. And the new Coyote Roadrunner sculpture that was installed at North Park earlier this summer. So that's just to name a few, Mayor and Council. Hope you'll enjoy many of these updates and the exceptional work of our staff as we serve the community. Oh, and before I move on, I just wanted to report on one more accomplishment. A couple of months ago, I don't have a picture of this. I didn't want to embarrass her. But a couple of months ago, our planning and building director was spotlighted in one of my reports for being accepted to the highly competitive and very rigorous ICMA High Performance Leadership Academy. I'm pleased to report to you that last week she announced to the leadership team that she had completed that program. And so I wanted to recognize Anna for her efforts in pursuing that certification and going through that program. It's a big accomplishment. Thank you, Anna. All right, so before moving on to capital progress, I will note that this month's town manager report also includes updates on several active commercial developments and land use projects. So it's not just capital, but there's building activity in there as well. Specifically, I will call attention to these two projects. The one on the left is the new lab building at the wastewater treatment plant. That effort is a little over 90% complete. And I know that our staff out there are very excited to get into their new digs and use that facility as it was intended. Long overdue amenity to the program, the wastewater treatment plant program. The project on your right is the Quail Crossing extension. This is phase 2. That project is about 70% complete this month. The actual bridge itself is at 90% complete. So we've got the first lift of asphalt down. And the rest plan to be completed by the end of this month if all goes well. I know that you've seen an email or two about water puddling on asphalt. Just to note that as we put these roads in, they come in lifts. So you've got one lift of asphalt down, but the curb was built for the final grade of asphalt. And so what we saw happen with the rains is that the rain puddled up against the curb, the lift, and it couldn't really relieve itself into the intended drainage facility. So as we come in and we finish that second lift, all the water will go where it's supposed to go. It's just a product of being mid phase in that effort. So all will be well. Mayor and council, there are many other town and private sector projects reported in the manager's report this month between Public Works, Planning and Building. For instance, there are updates on projects like Planet Fitness, the tenant improvements to our Samtec facility, and efforts of staff to advance needed changes to the town's grading standards and residential codes. I certainly encourage everybody in the public to take a quick look at the report for updates on your favorite project. Additionally, my report also contains comprehensive map of all the active capital projects in the entire community. Included with that map is a link that will take you or the reader to an interactive map site for folks who really want to experience some of these projects more intimately. I'll put it that way. And next, Mayor and Council, we've got kind of a unique entry into this report. Staff was able to complete another report quarter on our strategic plan, and so we've included that report in this manager's report itself. So late this summer, staff completed an update to the town strategic plan. The plan's update is now available online. I think it's on the town manager's site of our town's website. The update provides an overview of the town of Sahuarita's strategic initiatives and performance measures thus far. It is organized around 5 strategic focus areas the town uses to achieve its 2020 to 2025 strategic goals and initiatives. Those goals and initiatives are very key and integral to our budget that the council adopted going into this new fiscal year. So as a reader gets into the strategic plan and then looks at the budget document, they'll see correspondence between the two, a connection that really kind of brings focus to our efforts as an organization as we try to roll services out to the community. So those 5 areas are economic expansion and placemaking, outreach and communication, infrastructure, community well-being, and highly performing organization. And each of those focus areas has specific lists of goals that really we try to use as our guide and markers as we put our programs together, our work plans, and so on and so forth. Here's a couple of pages of the report. The report itself, it really is not very long, but these pages are packed with great information, statistics, all about the work of staff and council in furthering the goals and focus areas of the strategic plan for the reporting quarter. I really hope that the reader has an opportunity to get into that plan and this report to the council itself. It's really full of a lot of great information. And Mayor and Council, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, questions or comments from the council?
Yep, Madam Vice Mayor, just a quick question. How did the Quail Creek Crossing Bridge do with all this recent rain? Was it?
Beth, is there any report on that you can offer? Just so the virtual world heard that we didn't hear anything, and usually that's a good indicator that everything worked the way that it needed to work.
Can I do a follow-up question, or did you have a follow-up question? No. Okay. Would it have had to have been closed during this last week? Thank you.
So the answer was no. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dilly.
Thank you.
Item number 10 is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda recommendations. All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? The consent agenda recommendations are approved. Madam Clerk, will you please read item number 11?
Discussion and possible adoption of resolution number 2022-0722, declaring and adopting the results of the Town of Sahuarita primary election held on August 2nd, 2022. Honorable Vice Mayor, if I may.
Please.
Before you this evening is a resolution to adopt the canvass of the August 2nd, 2022 primary election to fill 4 council seats, 3 4-year terms and 1 2-year term. A total of 8,224 ballots were cast for the Town of Sahuarita, representing a voter turnout of 36.68%, which was slightly higher than the overall turnout for the Pima County voters. Of those ballots, 85% were cast early and 15% were cast on Election Day at vote centers. 4 candidates ran for the 3 four-year term council member seats. Those candidates were Tom Murphy, Deborah Morales, Kara Egbert, and Laura Rodriguez Nastasi. All of these candidates received the required majority as defined by law of votes cast to be eligible for the election. Those candidates receiving the most votes and securing the council member seats are Tom Murphy, Deborah Morales, and Kara Egbert. 1 candidate ran for the available 2-year term council seat. Diane Priolo received 6,521 votes, receiving the majority of votes cast as defined by law, and secured the council member seat. Council members will be sworn in for their new terms of office at the end of the regular town council meeting on November 14th, 2022. That concludes my brief report.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. Congratulations to all the candidates and my fellow council members. Looking forward to another 2 to 4 years.
That's
on the
everybody
council.
except 2 of us.
I know. Were there any questions or comments from Ms. Cole? Okay, do we have a motion to adopt the resolution?
Madam Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I move to adopt resolution number 2022-0722.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, will you please read item 12?
Discussion and possible action regarding the town magistrate position and the employment agreement with town magistrate Maria M. Aviles, which will expire on December 31st, 2022, and possible extension, amendment, or restatement of the contract.
Thank you. I have 1 speaker card for this, Andrew Gravine. If you want to come to the podium, you're welcome to have a few moments. If you look at the lights, that will tell you how much time, and the podium does move up and down based on your right side.
What was that?
You just have 3 minutes?
Correct.
3 minutes that
Okay.
you can speak on whatever you'd like.
The judge recently reviewed a case on my son and felt a little bit of bias on that case. I'd read an article in the Green Valley News or Sun where she had given repeated drunk drivers more of a chance than a 15-year-old who's never had an incident before in his life. Also, where I'd asked for a hearing device that wasn't provided, because I am legally deaf, and also the attorney we hired wasn't allowed to do his job. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, questions or comments from the council? All right, do we have a motion?
Yeah, Madam Vice Mayor, I make a motion to approve extending the contract as dictated in the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Dilly, would you mind reaching out with the clerk to find out, with the court office, to make sure that there's something available for those that need hearing devices?
Happy to do so.
Thank you. Okay. Madam Clerk, will you please read item 13?
Presentation, discussion, and possible approval of contract number 230020 with Playcore Wisconsin, Inc., DBA Game Time, for the purchase and installation of an inclusive playground at Park Los Arroyos commencing August 1st, 2022, and terminating December 31st, 2022, in an amount not to exceed $252,000.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. Ms. Hester?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. Thank you for this opportunity to come and present to you tonight. But first, I wanted just to say thank you with the new council and then our mayor and vice mayor, how supportive you are of Parks, Recreation, and Community Services. There's not an activity or event that we do that someone isn't there. So I thank you for your participation in all that we do. So Parks, Recreation, and Community Service has a great opportunity here to install our first all-inclusive playground at Park Los Arroyos Playground. So the company that we have chosen to work with is Playcore. It's a comprehensive inclusive play program and unique design philosophy to provide a high-quality outdoor play experience for people of all ages, abilities, that develop the whole child, address the whole environment, and ultimately benefit the whole community. So because the town of Sarita has a population of 17% people with disabilities in our town, this is a really important element that we add to our parks and recreation and our town overall. So because of this, we decided to add all 6 key elements that provide and promote physical activity, which is balancing, bracketing, climbing, spinning, sliding, and swinging. This also provides a developmental approach that is very progressive to skill opportunity, being, from the beginning, intermediate, and advanced elements. The design and the layout of the space to encourage movement through running, chasing, and exploring, and then also a program of the environment utilizing play on, which basically is you want to have the best learning activities and additional loose parts to encourage active play, and then social play within the playground. So at Parque Los Arroyos, we are expanding the current playground footprint. So we will be adding about 25 extra square feet of playground. We wanted to do this because we have first the space, and then we wanted to make this inclusive playground as big and as possible. We reused the existing shade structure, which did limit the height in which we could take the playground, but overall it gave a really well-balanced inclusive playground. So we ended up being able to integrate 40 different play elements within this structure. And I couldn't list all of them, but a few of them is we will have a rock and raft, inclusive whirl, where the wheelchairs can go onto these structures. There'll be a maze, a hydro wheel, a loop ladder, therapeutic rings, climber, a tic-tac-toe board, a swivel slide, Olympic climber, swings, and then of course, which makes it all inclusive, is the rubberized play surface. So no more wood chips.
Thank you.
Now this is just the beginning of our plan to install inclusive playgrounds. We have 8 total playgrounds in which in the future that we hope to make inclusive. But we are asking that the council approve that our contract with Playcorps for $252,000 to begin this process of inclusive playgrounds.
Thank you, Ms. Hester. Any questions or comments from the council before we do speaker cards? Yes. Councilmember Priolo.
Hi. Did I hear you say that it had a shade cover already?
Yes, there's 2 current shade structures over the current playground, and we're going to reuse those.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, I have one speaker card. Marianne Scott, do you want to come to the podium and share comments? I think you've spoken before, so you know how to do all the stuff.
Technology usually doesn't work with me. It's my aura. My husband says, he goes, it breaks because it's your aura. But good evening. Is Mayor Murphy joining us? Okay, Mayor Murphy.
He's always out there.
He's just around. Always. And Vice Mayor Egbert, council members, and congratulations to the new town council members who are here tonight. That's exciting. And then Ms. Hester, I love the legwork and all the research and stuff that you've just shared. And I'm over there saying amen, amen to this. So I do apologize for my casual appearance. I think I still smell like dinner, but I've been in full mom mode, and I literally ran out of the kitchen and came. And you might think that my appearance is casual and that the things that I have to say may be casual, but it's not. This topic is very near and dear to my heart. And I have spoke before, as Vice Mayor Egbert has said, because my daughter, she just turned 21, and she has significant disabilities, and she would be an individual that would be utilizing this park that you speak of, Ms. Esther. And so anytime I hear of something like this happening, I just want to come and talk to the council members and just reiterate that the community is watching and listening and is excited when we see things like this happen, that monies are being put forth to include people with disabilities. I applied for a program. It was an AMCHIP program. It's the federal program. It was about 8 months, and I just graduated in May for it. But all the states in the United States, they receive federal funding, and it comes in. AMCHIP is Association for Maternal and Child Health Programs, and it's a big amount of money. In our state gets quite a bit of it. But I got to learn about where a lot of the monies go to help mothers and children and also individuals with special healthcare needs. And the buzzword this year in 2022 is moving away from inclusion to belonging. And my degree is in early childhood education with an emphasis on special education. And so we, up until this year, I've always thought the word inclusion was the word to utilize. And I think we can always grow and learn a little bit more. But my little girl, we were somewhere recently, and I said, and with my new words, I was like, go ask that little girl and have her come and play with you and make sure she feels like she belongs. And they were playing, and I saw this little girl with the group, but nobody was really interacting with her. And so I took my little girl aside and I said, Chloe, did you invite her to come and play? And she said, yeah, Mom, we're including her. And so I said, hey. And so I just defined what inclusion is and what belonging is. And you can be sitting at a table anywhere and you're included, right? But if nobody interacts with you, if you don't see anything there that is for you, if an individual doesn't have a hearing device to participate in a meeting, he was included. That little girl at the party was there, but do they truly belong? And so with this new word, words have meanings, and you guys all here, hopefully you can take away from this and just and remember that people in our community, whoever it is, just wants to belong. And so I do hope that this amount is approved. And I hope that you guys also consider any future monies that can be utilized for the purpose for my daughter to be included and belong, and anybody else in our community. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Council, any follow-up questions or comments? I'm excited for this vote. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
no, you're good.
Oh, do you have to talk to me? Okay.
You're good. Sorry, Ms. Scott. I was excited. I was in the meeting with the mayor when we were looking at the agenda item, and both of us were very excited about seeing this agenda item being potentially passed here in a few minutes. It was 4 years ago that we started talking about inclusive parks, and I remember vividly at that meeting when we discussed it that there was a comment made by the council that shouldn't all our parks be inclusive, and I love the added and have people belong. And I think that is essential for a community that is a tight-knit community, and with one that has unity, which is what we are striving for. So thank you for all those that were part of it, seeing the vision of what we wanted and putting it into practice. So with that, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Vice Mayor, I move to approve contract number 230020.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, this is the end. When the mayor told me that I was going to be running this meeting, I was a little bit nervous. I'm probably as nervous as our two first council members' council meeting. So thank you very much. If there's no further business, we are adjourned.
Okay.